I have been attending the church in the parish of St.Michael and All Angel in Digger Martin. I started attending in the mid 1950s. My parents moved from La Puerta Avenue in Digger Martin, which is in the same parish, to Unity Road, Rich Plain, Digger Martin, on the 15th day of March, 1948. I was born in 1947, so I was just about a year when we moved from La Puerta to Rich Plain. I was 1 year old, less 2 days, because I was born on the 17th of March. I remember very little of this very early period. However, I recall my first attendance, which was on the main road, which is where the cemetery is now, on the Digger Martin main road, just opposite the Divine Destiny Assembly. Was confirmed and took my first communion at this site. I began as a Sunday school student there, when it was convenient for my parents to allow my now deceased older brother Frank and me to attend services unaccompanied. We were still little boys. There wasn't much traffic on the road, so we walked from Rich Plain to the church. My brother and I, along with a few current members of our present congregation, were confirmed at the old parish church. I refer to the Anansings, well, you know Miss Anansing, and the Holders. This is Noreen Holder and Morris and probably some others, Phyllis. And these are a jump. I left to study in Europe in October of 1967. So I was just on the verge of my 21st birthday and returned 1 year later in 1968. News from my father of the destruction of the old parish church by an earthquake shocked me while I was away. In 1968, towards the end of 68 in October, when I returned home, we were conducting services in the parish hall. This is of the old church, which was truly a godsend. The rector was the Reverend Ronald Paling Woods, an Englishman with a heart of gold, who was truly a man of God. He had the structure built. This is the parish hall. We were in the final stages of the construction of the present church, ultramodern church, which was an award-winning structure in which our worship is currently being conducted. The assistant curate at the time was the Reverend Raymond Reed. Fast forwarding a bit again, the Reverend Father Michael Brotherton succeeded Reverend Woods in 1969 after a stint as a teacher at Trinity College when I was a student there up to 1966. So to answer your first question, I have been in attendance at this parish as a member for almost 70 years. I'm now 74. I have been a congregation member at this current church from its construction. As a matter of fact, from the laying of its cornerstone to this present day. I was a server at this ceremony at which my brother, the late Frank, and Horace Anansing of the Anansing clan, also belated, served as altar servers under Reverend Woods. Mr. Morris Holder was also a server with us. Morris is one of the Holder boys. I was also one of the servers at the first service conducted at this new church by Reverend Brotherton. It's just before he left. So the rectors I have been associated with in this era were Reverend Brotherton, Reverend Vale, Reverend Gray, Reverend Ramdeen, Reverend Preston. These all assistant curates under Father Brotherton and later Father Gray. They all met me at St. Michael's and All Angels. There were also Canon Rohim, Reverend Edwina Peters, Reverend Father Bess, Alvin Bess. He was then the curate, and now we have Reverend Gomez. My participation in the life of church was full. I participated as a server, Sunday school teacher, member of vestry, and over the past 20 plus years as a lay minister. I also participated in an outreach program called Meals on Wheels, which was conducted by Mrs. Olive Wellington and other Mothers Union members in an effort to assist needy members of our Diego Martin community, regardless of church affiliation. Parishioners and persons of other faiths joined together to donate meals, meal boxes, and the use of their wheels, the cars, to distribute meals to persons in the community. And these would have been persons who would come to the parish hall and state their case. They were needy and we offered them some kind of assistance. So we would go sometimes to Woodford Square. If we had an abundance of meals on a Sunday, we would go to Woodford Square, and from the time the cars pull up, these people, the homeless people, would just approach us and we would give them what we have. Right? Sometimes we would distribute along the route. You might meet a person who is lying on the pavement or sitting on the pavement. You'd ask them, would you like to have a meal? And they'd eagerly get up and you would give it to them. I served on the vestry for many years, and on several occasions, as my children developed and found themselves attending co-curricular activities associated with school, and therefore needed my assistance with transport and oftentimes counseling. So while being on the vestry, while they were young and they didn't have these kind of co-curricular activities, I served. But when they started going to secondary school, I realized I had to cut back because they would have needed transport, etc. The most memorable experience I have had while attending church were a marriage. Almost 50 years ago, December coming, my wife and I would be married for 50 years. And we were married at that church. The marriage of 2 of my brothers and the baptism of my 4 children. My acceptance by the congregation, this is another experience I've had, of my officiating at the communion as a lay minister, lay pastor, server sometimes, the reception as a lay minister at the main church and the Church of the Resurrection at Patna River Estate and St. Matthew's at Carenage, where I can safely say I experienced the love and respect of the parishioners. Moving forward, despite the changing scenes of life, especially the current COVID pandemic, we must continue to exercise our trust and practice of faith in God in everything. That is my way, being guided by God's Holy Spirit in faith.